Marwan cherished his family. They were his anchor, his source of strength, and his greatest joy. Every moment spent with them was a treasure, a memory to be cherished forever. His world revolved around them. His parents, hard-working immigrants, had sacrificed so much to provide a better life for their children. They worked tirelessly, sure that Marwan and his sister had every opportunity they never had. His little sister Nadia, full of life and laughter, was the light of his life. Her infectious energy and boundless enthusiasm brought joy to everyone around her. They were his everything, his reason for striving to be the best version of himself. Simple, humble. They didn't have much, but they had each other, and that was enough. Their home, though modest, was filled with love and warmth. It was a sanctuary, a place where they could escape the harsh realities of the world. Marwan, a dedicated computer science student, dreamed of a bright future. He spent countless hours studying, determined to make his family proud. He envisioned a life where he could provide for them, repay them for all their sacrifices. He spent his days coding, immersing himself in the world of technology. The thrill of solving complex problems and creating something from nothing fueled his passion. He knew that with hard work and perseverance, he could achieve his dreams. In his free time he loved playing video games with Nadia. Those moments of shared laughter and friendly competition were precious to him. They strengthened their bond and created memories that he would cherish forever. Life was good, too good. One evening as the sun set and the sky turned dark, everything changed. The tranquility of their lives was shattered in an instant. Nadia, usually sat pale and silent at the dinner table. Tears streamed down her face as she revealed that her online accounts had been hacked. Personal photos meant to be private had been leaked for the world to see. The light in Nadia's eyes dimmed. Their safe haven, once a place of love and security, now felt violated. The sense of safety they had always known was gone, replaced by fear and uncertainty. Marwan felt a surge of rage. Sister, invading their privacy, filled him with a burning anger. He couldn't stand by and do nothing. He vowed to protect his family, no matter the cost. He would find the person responsible and make sure they paid for what they had done. His family was everything to him, and he would stop at nothing to keep them safe. The cyber attack left Nadia withdrawn. Fear haunted her eyes. Marwan couldn't bear it. He had to do something, anything. He delved into online forums, dark corners of the internet, whispered of hackers, their power. A dangerous allure pulled him in. Marwan learned fast. He absorbed knowledge like a sponge. Coding became his weapon. The internet, his battleground. He honed his skills, each line of code fueled by rage. He would find the perpetrators. They would pay. Marwan's search led him deeper into the digital underground. He encountered other hackers, some helpful, others predators. One name echoed through the forums: Sabrine, a legend, a phantom. She was rumored to be the best, but also deadly. He needed her guidance. Marwan sent a message, a plea for help. Days turned into weeks. Just as he gave up hope, a reply. "You seek to fight monsters," it read. "But are you willing to become one?" Marwan didn't hesitate. Yes. Their meeting was brief, shrouded in secrecy. Sabrine, a woman of shadows, her face hidden behind a mask, her voice cold, calculating. She saw potential in Marwan, raw talent fueled by vengeance, a dangerous combination, but she also sensed his good heart. Sabrine agreed to mentor him, but her training came with a price. He had to help her with her own vendetta. She was hunting the ones who destroyed her life, a hacker collective known as the Serpent's Fang, and their backers, the Russian Mafia. Section 5. Ghosts of the Past. Sabrine's story unfolded like a nightmare. Once she belonged to Serpent's Fang, a rising force in the cybercrime world. They had crossed the Russian Mafia, a data heist gone wrong. The Mafia retaliated brutally. Sabrine, the sole survivor. She lived for revenge. Each line of code, a prayer for vengeance. Marwan, initially hesitant, was drawn into her pain. They trained relentlessly, hours blurring into days. Marwan's skills sharpened, his resolve hardening. They became a force to be reckoned with. Section 6. Training Day. Under Sabrine's tutelage, Marwan transformed. He learned to exploit vulnerabilities, to manipulate systems, to become invisible. They launched attacks on Serpent's Fang, crippling their operations, exposing their secrets. The Mafia, however, remained elusive. Sabrine taught him about more than just hacking. She taught him about strategy, about patience, about the delicate balance between right and wrong. He questioned their methods, their ruthlessness, but the thought of Nadia's pain fueled his determination. He wouldn't back down. Section 7. Vengeance. They finally cornered the Serpent's Fang leader. The confrontation was tense, a digital duel in a virtual world. Sabrine, however, had underestimated the Mafia's reach. They struck back, a devastating counterattack. Sabrine, protecting Marwan, took the brunt of the assault. He watched in horror as her life force drained away, her last breath a whisper of his name. Rage consumed him. He unleashed his fury on the attackers, crippling them, leaving a trail of digital destruction in his wake. He was alone. Section 8. The Fall. In the heart of the city, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a sense of foreboding filled the air. The skyline, once a symbol of progress and hope, now cast long, ominous shadows over the streets below. Marwan became a phantom, a digital wraith. He moved through the city's underbelly like a ghost, unseen and unheard, yet his presence was felt everywhere. The once vibrant streets now seemed haunted by his invisible hand. He hunted down the remaining members of Serpent's Fang, delivering swift, brutal justice. Each keystroke was a calculated move, each step a part of his relentless pursuit. The digital realm was his battlefield, and he was a master tactician. His name became synonymous with fear. Whispers of his deeds spread like wildfire, and the mere mention of Marwan sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to cross him. He was a legend, a myth, a nightmare come to life. Governments and corporations alike trembled at his touch. No system was safe, no secret secure. His reach extended into the highest echelons of power, and his influence was felt in boardrooms and war rooms alike. He had become the very thing he swore to destroy. The line between hero and villain blurred, and Marwan found himself trapped in a cycle of vengeance and retribution. His reflection in the mirror was a constant reminder of the monster he had become. His pursuit of the Russian Mafia led him across continents, a digital game of cat and mouse. From the bustling streets of Tokyo to the shadowy alleys of Moscow, Marwan's quest for justice knew no bounds. He was a man on a mission, driven by a relentless need to right the wrongs of the world. But they were always one step ahead. The Russian Mafia was a formidable foe, and their network of operatives and informants kept them just out of Marwan's reach. Frustration mounted, as each lead turned into a dead end, and the chase seemed never-ending. The authorities finally caught up with him. After years of evading capture, Marwan's luck ran out. A coordinated effort by international law enforcement agencies led to his arrest, and the digital phantom was finally brought into the light. He was apprehended, his reign of terror seemingly at an end. The man who had once been a hero, a vigilante fighting for justice, was now branded a cyber-terrorist. His story, a cautionary tale of how power can corrupt even the noblest of intentions. Section 9. A New Dawn. Marwan awaited trial, facing a lifetime behind bars. The weight of his actions bore heavily on his shoulders. Each day in the prison yard felt like an eternity, a constant reminder of the choices that led him here. The imposing courthouse loomed in his future, a place where his fate would be sealed. The clinking of handcuffs echoed in his mind, a symbol of his lost freedom. But his skills had not gone unnoticed. Marwan was a genius with computers, a hacker of unparalleled talent. Even in the confines of his cell, his mind raced with codes and algorithms. He had always been able to see patterns where others saw chaos. This ability had drawn the attention of many, including those who operated in the shadows. A shadowy organization known only as the Agency offered him a deal. They were a group shrouded in mystery, their true motives hidden behind layers of secrecy. They approached him with an offer that was hard to refuse, freedom in exchange for his skills. But there was a catch. He would have to work for them, operate in the gray areas of morality. They knew about his past, his motives. They had done their homework, digging into his history, uncovering the reasons behind his actions. Marwan had always been driven by a desire to protect his loved ones, to ensure their safety. The Agency used this knowledge to their advantage, playing on his emotions, his sense of duty. They offered him a chance to use his abilities for good, to fight against global cyber threats. He was hesitant. Could he trust them? The crossroads he faced was daunting. On one side, a life of continued imprisonment. On the other, a chance at redemption. But at what cost? The horizon seemed both promising and perilous, filled with uncertainty. Could he betray his principles? The internal conflict was intense. Marwan had always prided himself on his moral compass, his sense of right and wrong. The thought of working for an organization with unclear motives was troubling. He stood alone, contemplating his future, the weight of the decision pressing down on him. But the thought of protecting others, preventing another Nadia, swayed him. Marwan accepted their offer. The memory of his sister Nadia was a constant presence in his mind. She had been a victim of a cyberattack, an innocent life lost due to the actions of malicious hackers. The pain of her loss drove him, fueled his determination to make a difference. He was thrust into a world of espionage, intrigue, and high-stakes missions. The transition was swift and jarring. One moment he was a prisoner, the next an operative for the agency. The bustling city streets, the imposing buildings all became his new playground. He had to adapt quickly, learn the ropes of this new life. His journey had just begun. The path ahead was uncertain, filled with challenges and dangers, but Marwan was ready. He had a purpose, a mission. The dawn of a new chapter in his life had arrived, and he was determined to make the most of it.